And welcome back to Lantern Corp. Today's Lantern Corp comes actually from the person that I'm doing Lantern Corp from. Velvet Crowe asked the question, what is Velvet Crowes from Berseria? The game series? Zombie, I already did that one. The words Lantern Corp. You'll also notice it's a new Lantern Corp little image here. There's a reason for that. I accidentally, because the way I basically just swap these out is I don't keep remaking this lineup. Basically, what happens is I just take the new image of the character and insert it over the old image of the previous character, and we keep this nice lineup here. Well, unfortunately, I think I accidentally deleted the one I did previously, which means I had to make a new one. And you'll notice, too, there's a couple add-ons there. There's the Ultraviolets now are added on there, and the Gold Lanterns are now added on there. So, you know, I think it's time. They've been around long enough. Anyway, I digress. So, I openly admit I don't know a lot about this character, but I had to do a couple videos with her a while back, so I did learn a little bit about the character. And from a personality standpoint, I do feel I can go over what her Lantern Corps is pretty efficiently and pretty quickly, because I think there's really only two options, to be frank. There is option. So she's obviously not a Lantern of Happiness. She's not a Gold Lantern, because they've had known only happiness all their life. Not her case. Shame is a unique one, but I don't think that really works for the Ultraviolets in this case. I don't think she'd be an Ultraviolet Lantern. Death, she didn't die. So, and she's taken life, but she's not an embodiment of death. Life, but likewise, even though she's alive, she doesn't really embody life in many ways either. Hope, likely, but it's not really hope. No, it's unlikely. It's not really hope she carries, more like a blind, ambitious rage, which we'll obviously get to that. Not blind, but it's not what's motivating. Hope is not what's motivating her. You can make maybe a small argument that she's holding out hope to get to the person she wants to kill, but no. Avarice, she's not that greedy. She just has a goal, and she's going to, complete that goal. Compassion, sadly, that's not really an option here. Not to say she's without it, it's just not the thing I think dominates her. Love is an odd one, because she does grow to care, not romantically, but, whatever love would qualify for in this emotional context. She does feel that to some degree later on in this series, but I just don't think it's the thing you could say is motivating her. And lastly, fear I actually don't think works, because even though she's like the protagonist and they got the villains that may be afraid of her, like henchmen are afraid of her, it's not like she's inspiring great fear across the land. She isn't like Aku, or even like a warlord whose reputation precedes them. No, it's just, certain people could be afraid of her, but she doesn't inspire fear the minute she meets a strong opponent. The only two Lantern Corps that really make sense to me are Rage and Will. Will, because you have to overcome great fear and have a strong willpower. She's clearly demonstrated that in the storyline for the games, from what I can find. And Rage, for the obvious reason, that was kind of like her defining motivator for a good chunk of that series, up until she kind of was able to balance it out with, her actual kind persona, personality, the good that was still in her. So, really, what do I think works better, Rage or Will? Well, I think it really just depends on where you catch her in the series. If you catch her, in the first half of the game, I say series, but the game, the first half of the story part of it, then it probably has got to be Rage more than anything else. If you catch her by the latter part to the end of it, you're looking at someone who's still got anger, and even other Lanterns can be angry, but it's not the thing that defines them. I think she had overcome that enough to qualify more for Will than Rage. So, Rage in the beginning, Will in the end, Rage in the beginning. Short video, but when it's a character I don't necessarily have the best context about, best context of. I just don't know a huge amount about her. I know a little because I've had to do some videos about her before. So, and I've done Pokemon Team, and I've done Zompocto, so I've done all my self-inventory series about this character. So, unless you show up as a who would win, or somehow a verse, or what if, that's going to probably be the last you see of her for a while. But look, maybe someone who knows this character better would have a better idea beyond just these two. Because from the little I read about, or from what I read about her, and I wouldn't say it's little, it was still a chunk, because I had to read about her personality for the Zanpakuto video. But from what I've read about her, these two do seem to fit the closest. But maybe I'm wrong. Maybe she could fit any one of these. I highly doubt she's fitting a good couple of them, but maybe I'm wrong. Let me know in the comments below, if you know the character more effectively than I do, what you would do for her Lantern Corps if you wouldn't do one of these two. Until then, though, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. See you for the next one.